Do you know what's important to you? And does that mean you know what's important to others? G'day and welcome to Small Steps Through Life. Today we're at Queen Elizabeth Park and I'm looking at the idea of what's important to you and what's important to others. Often we look at ourselves and we get a fair idea of what we would like. After all, we know our thoughts, we know our desires, we know our wants. So we've got a fairly good map of our wants and needs. But what about others? And this is where it fails. It fails because our reference is ourselves. We don't have access to inside their head. We don't know what they want and need. And so we default to what we want and need, which is fine, it sounds really good. Until it's not. Because if we look at it from the point of view that our default is ourselves, then we tend to offer the same things that we would want and need. And we do that because to us it's obvious. But we are different. If we look at what other people offer us, what do they offer? Sometimes we do need to move out of our own frame and move into somebody else's frame. If somebody says to us, I want this, we don't get the opportunity to say, you don't want that because I don't. That makes no sense. You imagine if you wanted a BLT and you said to somebody, I want a BLT. And they said back to you, no, you don't. Why not? Because I don't want one. Why would you? You would look at them like they've just grown an extra head. You would think they're insane. And yet, that's what we often do. We are very good at seeing situations from the outside and thinking that's inappropriate, that's wrong. But we don't think about it from when we do it. We don't think, I just did that. Why would I do that? We don't think that, we don't self-correct. We don't think, I'm offering a mushroom sandwich. Of course they're going to want it because I would love a mushroom sandwich. And we don't reverse that frame and say, if I was them, would I feel honoured by being offered something that I didn't want? Give it a ponder. It's frequently that we are anchored in our own thoughts, our own offerings, our own wants. And it gets worse because we also use that same idea for setting our guidelines on what we're willing to offer. I would like this, so I'll offer things like this. I wouldn't like this, so I'm not going to offer things like that. It doesn't matter whether they want it or not. And if we do that, it sounds fine until it's not, in the sense that we end up diminishing our circle of offerings. Because realize that if they want this bigger circle, hand size, and we have a similar size offering, but we only offer things that are in our space, there may only be a very small overlap. That means the connection of wants and offerings is going to be small. They're going to find it very dissatisfying because you're not meeting the needs of the whole person, you're only meeting the needs of yourself. We do it because that's where we live in our heads, and it's time to change it. Think about it from the point of view of a hand-sized circle and move your hand over their position and see how many spots you can find in their frame that you could make work. I think you're going to find a lot more offerings But it is going to take a big mindset change. It means offering things that you might have thought, no, I will never offer them because they're not what I would like. Understand yourself, understand others, understand the overlap. Once you do that, your journey becomes much more amazing because not only are you offering something that somebody else wants, you're growing your capabilities. You've now got two areas. You've got your original area and your offered area. Much bigger, more opportunities to do things. Make them stunning, and I'm going to say, see you later.